Aerial view from a United States Navy, Martin PBM, Mariner of Crossroads, Baker atomic test, less than 1 second after detonation. USS Saratoga can be seen in the center. IJN Nagato on the opposite side of the blast. July 25, 1946. A woman wears this shirt at the 1977 International Women's Year March, Texas. Roger Moore during his Saint years trying to figure out how many women will fit in the boot of his Volvo 1960s. Desegregation of Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas, United States in 1957. Robin Williams and his first wife Valerie Velarde smile on their wedding day, 1978. In 1951, Bill Veeck let the fans manage the St. Louis Browns on Grandstand Manager's Night. Holding a briefcase, the first African-American student at the University of Mississippi, Oxford, October 2, 1962. July 4, 1939, Lou Gehrig's emotional speech that announced his retirement from Major League Baseball. Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love, 1992. John Travolta, 1954. Atari computer demonstration in 1979. Arthur Steele visitor at number 10 Downing Street. The General Post Office sells off old telephone boxes at its Dagenham depot circa 1960. Girl in corner of kitchen and family tent home, Great Depression, 1939. Martin Luther King receives the Medal of Honor from the Mayor of New York City. Walter Winchell and Marilyn Monroe at party. Judy Garland, Mickey Rooney, and Shirley Temple at MGM Studios on February 18, 1941. Sitting Bull's Camp in South Dakota, 1890. A sectional view showing 3 individuals seated in front of a teepee. President Lyndon B. Johnson watches television sets as elections returns are reported. November 3, 1964. Portrait of a man in samurai armor, 1870s. Smurf creator Peyo, 1960s. United States Navy technician marking radar data on chart tracking enemy Japanese ships in World War II Pacific. Eleanor Roosevelt in her youth. An overhead view of the funeral of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, November 1963. Singer Madonna on a East Village Street, New York City in 1983. Patrick Swayze signing autographs, 1980. Children chase the priest of a local Anglican church, East End, 1940s. Before marriage, Jacqueline Bouvier worked in journalism. At 21, Jackie took up the position of junior editor at Vogue magazine. Angelina Jolie, 1994. Mary Edwards Walker on her custom-made uniforms as Surgeon of the Union Army, circa 1860s. It was quite challenging for a woman to be a surgeon in the Army in the 1800s. She faced extreme harassment, prejudice throughout her career. Centurion and Jean Patchett, Penn Station, 1955. Dancing in the Pub, South End, 1951. Tony Curtis and Natalie Wood. Santa Airplane. To study the medical effects of weightlessness in space, scientists convinced Captain Drewy P. Parks to toss a kitten in the air while cruising in his F-94C jet at an altitude of 25,000 feet, 1958. Iranians pull down statue of Shah Reza. Muhammad Ali with his daughter. Mother searching for her son among returning prisoners of war, Friedland, Germany, October 1955. First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt types as Newswomen Watch. Dr. Hines injects fluids taken from a live hair into a human, which, combined with ultraviolet radiation and exercise, is supposed to lead to rejuvenation. Berlin, 1925. Author unknown. Star Trek's DeForest Kelley with his wife, Carolyn Dowling. They were married for 54 years, from 1945 until Kelly's death in 1999. Brothers, Paris, 1934. Robin Williams and his mother, Laurie McLaurin, at the premiere of Moscow on the Hudson, 1984. A Tough Teenager with Radio Charlotte, North Carolina, 1970s. Fidel Castro and the rebels enter Havana during the Cuban Revolution. A school photo that supposedly captured Ludwig Wittgenstein and Adolf Hitler in the same frame. Children playing in the Madison Square Fountain on a hot day. New York, circa 1910. Playing chess on Broadway, New York City, at the corner of Broadway and West 49th Street in Midtown Manhattan, August 1986. Mugshot of Thomas Thompson, 14 years old, given 21 days of hard labor at Wandsworth Prison for stealing 1 shilling, January of 1873. German refugees cross a destroyed bridge, Elbe River, Germany, May 1st, 1945. Surfing in the Midwest, 1940s. Giant Buddha, Bamiyan, Afghanistan, 1931. Doesn't exist anymore. The Taliban regime blew it up in 2001. Triplane by Jean Durand, 1908. Nurses show triplets to the father who pass out of emotion. Picture from 1946 in New York City when there was no ultrasound and everything was in the surprise. Kazimir Malevich, with his works at the Museum of Artistic Culture, Petrograd, 1924. Fire at the Hartford Circus, United States, July 6, 1944. A fake rooftop suburb that hid a whole World War II airplane factory underneath, 1944. Elin Wagner giving out newspapers about women's rights in Stockholm, Sweden in 1909. A barefooted Italian girl plays with a bird in Naples, Italy, 1900. A car powered by wood, Berlin. Sonny Barger, de facto leader of the Hells Angels and founder of its Oakland chapter in 1967. Rain in Monte Carlo, 1955. Delivery of goods, Omsk, 1960s. Feminist with a poster reading Eve was framed, 1970, New York, United States. When Madrid hosted a human zoo in the famous Park El Retiro. (1968) Rio de Janeiro student demonstration. Engineer and businessman João Gurgel shows the first Brazilian electric car, the Itaipu E150, in Sao Paulo, Brazil, 1974. The center of Stalingrad after liberation from the Germans, 1943. Matthew McConaughey's prom photo. UNIVAC 1101 computer, also known as E-Ray 1101, early 1950s, funded by Task 13. It was a military code breaker. The Hyde Park and Regent's Park bombings were carried out on July 20th, 1982 in London, England. Ozzy Osbourne showing how much sugar he likes in his coffee, 1984. The head of Christ the Redeemer, which will soon become the symbol of Rio de Janeiro. I am a thief. Stole 3 pairs of boots, 1 pair of shoes, 1 piece of overcoat photo between 1914 and 1917. The whole left by Flight 11, crashing into the North Tower of the World Trade Center, September 11, 2001. A young French woman holding a large loaf of bread reads an advertisement about a possible price reduction on baked goods. 1952. Croatian soldier in 1992 in front of a wall that says, "God, if I die young, send me to heaven as hell I have already been." A rare photo of Johnny Depp with his band The Kids, taken in the early 1980s. Last known photo of former President Grover Cleveland, 1907. Jesse Jackson with Martin Luther King Jr. at the Mason Temple on April 3, 1968. Elizabeth Taylor and her brother, Howard Taylor, around 1935. A young black man accused of a crime against a white woman is escorted to court by 400 Missouri National Guard troops, Arkansas, 1941. Castle Romeo has to be the most famous photo of a nuclear explosion. Detonated on March 27, 1954 at 6:30 a.m., just before sunrise at Bikini Atoll. Diana, Princess of Wales, and David Bowie at Live Aid, 1985. Danny DeVito and Jack Nicholson have fun on the set of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, 1975. Las Vegas in the 1970s. The rotor at Kennywood circa 1957. A resident of a Soviet village with her children near a burnt-out house, Eastern Front, World War II. Boston blizzard, 1930. A woman collaborator and her baby, whose father is German, returns to her home after having her head shaven following the capture of Chartres by the Allies, France, 1944. A legion of British women are pictured in an army camp. Approximately 57,000 women served with the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps during World War I. Victorian woman with unusual, very short hair circa 1850s. In early May 1949, Communist Party troops from a police station transport suspects of economic crimes, China. November 11, 1932. Clash with police by Scottsboro pickets outside the Supreme Court. First German conscripts since World War I are sworn in an elaborate ceremony before the Feldherrnhalle, November 7, 1935. Evacuation on Route 1 from Quang Tri Fire Zone in 1972. A postal electric car in the Danish town of Odense, 1966. The American aircraft carrier Franklin, damaged by Japanese aircraft, 1945. Kids try for Jackie Robinson's autograph. A behind-the-scenes photo of Fred Rogers on the set of the neighborhood of Make-Believe for his program, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, taken some time between 1984 to 2000. Jamie Lee Curtis wearing Air Jordan 3s, 1989. Oscar Wilde and his lover Lord Alfred Douglas, 1893. Vintage toaster. On a walk in the park. Models Monique Lefebvre and Bob Smith, August 1958. A still from the 1967 film Cool Hand Luke, showing Paul Newman left and George Kennedy right in a boxing match. Charlie Chaplin and his new bride, 18-year-old Una O'Neill, make their first public appearance at the Mocambo nightclub in Hull. Pardubice steeplechase. A man in swimming trunks among spectators at the Jizerska Padasatka cross-country ski race, Czech Republic, 1978. Photographed by František Dostal. Camouflage lessons, New York City, 1943. Staff at the Field Museum in Chicago working on a Daspletosaurus fossil at the time, thought to be Gorgosaurus, 1956. The young Clint Eastwood working on his 1958 Jaguar XK150 back in the 1960s. (1983) Beirut, Lebanon. Aerial view of the United States Embassy after a bomb destroyed part of the building. Stalin's son, Yakov Djugashvili, in German captivity, 1941. April 25, 1974, the day of the military takeover that brought down the 48-year dictatorship in Portugal, led by military officers Otelo Saraiva de Carvalho and Salgueiro Maia. Brigitte Bardot, walking barefoot in the island of Capri, Italy, 1963. Julius Nyerere, the first president of Tanzania, celebrating Tanganyika's full independence in 1961. Actress Karen Jensen celebrating New Year's, 1967. One of the only known photos ever taken of British Queen Victoria smiling, 1897. Eugen Sandow, one of the first bodybuilders in history, posing in 1902. A stele commemorating Evie Stalin's stay in Polyarny, 1940s. Little Thieves in Search of a Treat, Scotland, 1911. Youth of Harlem, League of Struggle for Negro Rights, and the ILD protest, Lynch Terror, in May 1932. The Doors. Flooded Streets, Winthrop, Shirley Street, 1920.